Tim Draper for many years has been a supporter, and he says something like 250,000 by the end of this year. Maybe that's a little bit hyperbolic, but I would ask you, you just talked about how others, whether it's the ETFs or you got to look at these central banks that may start to snap up Bitcoin. We know what happened during the gold rush of the 49, and everybody rushes in, the supply goes down, price goes up, and then suddenly there's nothing left. How do you avoid getting caught in any kind of maelstrom or vortex?
I think Bitcoin, if you look at it over the past 13, 14 years, it's only been down 3 years out of the 14. And one of those years was just, obviously during the COVID, when all markets were down. So over any period, you can look at Bitcoin, and it's gone up on average somewhere between 29 and 50% a year easily. And so our recommendation, my recommendation to my kids, for example, is that put just a little bit away every month in Bitcoin and forget about it and just watch.
Okay.
And over 2, 3, 4 years, it grows, and that's what people do. You're starting to see Morgan. I think there was a news item on one of the news wires this morning that E-Trade was possibly going to start providing crypto trading services, and you already have Fidelity doing that. And if Vanguard and the other ones
Robinhood
start opening this up, that's a huge market. And then you start looking at insurance companies. There was a bank the other day that did a refinancing.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're going to get more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy, and it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And then also, of course, in the first quarter of 2025, we always get a correction. But we have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten, and more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky, and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin and crypto moving up. Don't forget, guys, we have options today. We also have the stock pumping after pulling back a few sessions, but we're going to get into that later. Don't forget, the Fed website is gold. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. The only thing you have to do is read and study. Now, we have Satoshi mine the Genesis block today. 16-year anniversary. And then I think January 9th was the launch. And who launched it? Who is Satoshi? That's right, guys, the Alphabet Boys. I proved it time and time again. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, do not forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates right now slightly pulling back. But we have the dollar is ridiculous. Right now, as I'm doing this video, it is at 109. This is ridiculous. And we still have gold strong, even though it's pulling back slightly, but it's still strong. If the people only understood finances, this would definitely not work. None of these numbers make any sense. It is a wild time we're living in. And this weekend, I'll be going over that in a Patreon video. But I also have some articles I'm going to put in the Patreon that show we're living in some wild times. And then we have volume and crypto slightly down. We have Tether and USDC. And we have Tether sees largest weekly market cap drop since the FTX collapse. And of course, we saw USDC market cap move up. In 2026, the stablecoin landscape is definitely going to change. We'll get regulation this year, but we're going to see a lot of changes 2026 and 2027 when it comes to stablecoins, because the Fed is not going to give up control of the money supply. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then we have the Fed repo at $239 billion. And remember, we dropped all the way down to $96 billion. And this article states it swelled to $375. Remember, it swelled all the way up to $473 billion. And anytime the Fed starts shrinking, we know it causes a havoc. So that's the reason why they had to step in. That's the whole point of the reverse repo. So we saw stocks pull back for those few days, and then of course they calmed things down. But the Fed is going to continue on shrinking its balance sheet. And then we also know once Trump gets into office, the games really begin. And that's the reason why they're stepping up these movies. Now we have another movie with another soldier. Remember the narrative. Soldiers are doing all these activities. Another soldier now is accused of hacking Trump's and Harris' cell phone. And I'm going to go over that in a Patreon video. But they're definitely stepping up the movies because we know they have to run this money in the back door in order to start building this fourth industrial revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs right now are up. Now we had Bitcoin investors invest in the BlackRock spot ETF, pull over 333 million. But guys, remember, pay attention to the outflows and inflows. Don't get caught up in the hype boys telling you all these inflows we're getting. We know when we get the outflows. We know when we get the inflows. Now, getting over into a little crypto news. We have Marathon Digital CEO Fred Thiel says his recommendation and tells his kids, buy a little bit of Bitcoin, put it away, and forget it. But if the Fed is going to start shrinking liquidity, which we know is going to happen, we know that's going to affect Bitcoin. But there's plenty of altcoins also where you can buy and forget it at cheaper costs, and it has a lot more utility. Us in crypto, we understand that. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have KuCoin introduces new crypto payment system for exchange users. And you can use a QR code or the app. But when it comes to these QR codes, where I'm at, they were starting to get big. Now they've actually taken them away. But we know QR codes, app payment is definitely the future. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then lastly, we have Frax community approved to use Blackrock'S Buidl as collateral for a stablecoin. And this is the first step for the Fed to take over stablecoins. Remember, they've been using BlackRock to buy up all the stock, take over the stock market. Now they're going to use BlackRock to take over the crypto community. Remember, the crypto community is ran by stablecoins. And if we have these stablecoins backed by Treasury, and then also Buidl, which is buying U.S. Treasuries, that keeps the Fed in control. And remember, this is a plan. It moves in phases, because now we're going to have stablecoin regulation in 2025. We'll see stablecoins shrink 26 and 27, and then we're set up for that free money and Schmeats a year, where that money is airdrop But that money is going to be programmable, being able to tell you what, when, and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And don't forget, guys, they don't start off like that. They're going to hand you the free money and let you spend it wherever, but the people don't know that the smart contracts are going to come in later. And then also the metaverse, where your life will be nothing but a video game. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.